Hi everyone, today's topic I'm going to talk about is men's makeup. I wouldn't really like to call it men's makeup because men plus makeup, I don't know, it's hard to describe. However, I like to call it grooming because it sounds more appropriate because men's don't usually get a heavy makeup done, or it's not really about beautifying, but it's more like toning, like your exercise and body toning, some sort of kind of thing. So today I'm going to demonstrate for you how to create very simple and easy steps enhancing stuff for men's. I'm gonna start right now. My skincare is not on my face yet, so I'm gonna start with a Shiseido moisturizing cream. It's very important because men's skin is very thick compared from women's skin, and skin tends to get less wrinkly once they get even aged. Once they started to get wrinkly, the wrinkle is really deep. It's not like those fine lines all over your face, but it's more of a very deep and this crevice on your face. So really need to care your skin before you get that crevice on your skin. The best product is anti-aging product, but it doesn't have to be anti-aging, but moisturizing will. Still very effective. And if you don't want to spend much money on your moisturizing cream, then you can probably use Nivea Blue Tint Case Cream because it also contains panthenol, which is known for improving your skin's barrier, meaning it's kind of an anti-aging, if you will. My moisturizing cream is on my face, and I'm going to move on to mattifying base, because the reason why I'm going to use a mattifying base is because the man's skin tends to produce more oils than female. If your skin is more on the dry side, then you're very lucky, but most of the men's aren't and has very enlarged and open pores. So I'm going to use this Pure Canvas Primer from Laura Mercier. The product is Blurring Primer. And this blurring primer is really blurring the skin, but I'm not going to use too much. Tiny little amount of product will do. And I'm going to still use my hand, kind of rub it into my fingers, and start from the center of my face where I usually get my face oily. But if your skin is overall oily, then just apply all over your face, just like massaging your skin. Skin feels very silky and smooth and it's ready. And if you have a very good skin, mostly flawless or no redness, just fantastic, then you can just skip all the next steps that I'm gonna do, because if you have no flaws, then it's no point for you to conceal any flaws because it's not existing. And product I'm going to use today is just one simple product, concealer. And concealer, I believe, is most crucial thing that I believe every man should have at least one, because instead of having a foundation or powder foundation, I still believe concealer is still the best because it's simple and it's high and full coverage. Very tiny, it's actually very small, so you can actually just carry around your pocket or even your bag wherever you need to retouch. You can just, it's very handy. So I'm going to use a concealer, and I'm going to take just a tiny little amount, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix with a moisturizer, just a tiny little amount, maybe 50-50 or 70-30. The reason why I'm going to mix them together is because it kind of sheared down the texture, so it became a foolproof. If the concealer has a very high consistency, meaning it's a very high coverage, probably you may find it's a little bit hard to blend and you may not know how to make it more perfect on the skin. So just shear it down and you can layer it, like applying a foundation. It became a tinted moisturizer. Very simple and easy tips and hacks for men, because I know us men, we are very lazy. We don't want to put anything that's complicated, anything that is in too many steps. We just want to make it as simple and quick as possible. This is my tips. I usually don't really use foundation on my skin, but just a concealer, because concealer will give me a high coverage and high enough coverage to conceal any redness or flaws on my face, and also an even tone. And concealer is just perfect. And think about it, concealer product, most of them has less volume than foundation. Example, this NARS concealer has 6.2 gram and the price is 46 Singapore dollar. And this is Laura Mercier foundation, 30 ml, and the price is $80. So this is 6.2, 46, and this is 30 at 80. Do the math, guys. And to be honest, every makeup product has expiry date, and if the product is expired even before you finish them, then it's probably gonna give you a breakout. And who wants to have a skin breakouts? Nobody wants to have that. So if you're using a lot of makeup product, then why not consider using foundation? And next, I'm gonna just use a concealer itself without mixing with a moisturizing cream. I feel that I need to conceal my under eye discoloration and some, I just shaved my face, so I have some redness and spots here, and I have blemish. I have one of this sucker here, and one over my brows. So I'm just gonna use my fingertip and conceal them. Just dab it on. So concealer already giving me a full coverage, so if I need to sheer it down like a foundation, then I'm gonna mix with a moisturizing cream or even with a primer. And if I need more higher coverage, then I'll just use the product itself. And this sucker can suck it. It's not concealing at all. If any product that is not concealing 100%, then it's time for you to use a tool. And the tool I'm gonna use is a brush. I don't tend to really use a sponge because sponge, I feel, this is the sponge I used many months ago, and it's pretty dirty, and I'm very lazy to wash this sponge, although it's quite a pricey sponge from Shiseido. So think about it, it's collecting dust, and if you don't wash it regularly, it'll grow germs inside, and I'm very lazy. So I'm just going to use a brush to just pinpoint concealing. Just cancel it out by dotting this particular area. See, this sucker is already gone. And I'm gonna just apply a little bit more on this particular area and dab it with my finger. And this guy as well. Perfectly concealing. Just one simple product can do a multitasking job. It can be so versatile, goes everywhere on your face. And I have this blemish scar right here because I had a blemish recently and I popped it. I couldn't just control myself. And then just use a pinpoint concealing brush. Just conceal it, that's all. But of course, it's gonna take a little bit more time, but why not? Right, guys? And I'm gonna conceal this guy here just one more time, and the rest I'm gonna just leave it natural. And then I'm gonna use one more product, just a lighter color concealer. What I like about this kind of a small size concealer is you can use it for a very long time because I'm just gonna conceal my under eye area, and the price is cheap. It's just $19. It's really cheap and affordable. And for this, I'm gonna use a fingertip and the brush. So I'm just gonna dab it a little on my under eye area. Then I'm just gonna use my brush to blend it away, make it look super natural, like it's doing like super natural job. After all this step, if you just wanna add one more product, then always go with a powder. And I'm gonna use a loose powder. You can decide to use a pressed powder if you need to retouch even when you're outside, or otherwise just use a loose powder because it feels more lightweight. And you can decide to use a powder puff or a brush, but I'm gonna use a brush because I have a lot of brushes with me, and if you don't, then too bad. You may get one very cheap brush. Or you can invest your money on it because brushes will last with you forever and ever. Not exactly forever and ever, but yeah, forever and ever. Recently, I have thrown away many brushes that I used to own because the metal thing became, I don't know, it became weird. So as you can see, it has some weird stains on it. Anyway, I'm just gonna start from the T-zone because it's the part where I usually get oily. Just push it into my face and set all this makeup. Then you're good to go. And most of men, to be honest, fine at this step. They look already good and handsome and even. However, like myself, I have a very thin and light eyebrows, and some they don't even have an eyebrow, which is pity. I'm going to give you a hack. A hack I'm going to show you is using a mascara and mascara brush. And this kind of brush usually costs you around $2. And this kind of mascara is a travel size. This is $19, I believe. Cost is really low. So guys, do invest your makeup product or for your skin. And I'm just gonna use a brush, and I'm just gonna use a tissue paper to take off some of this unnecessary product. Then I'm just gonna brush it the other way. It instantly thickens my brows, and this is my favorite technique because I don't really have that thick or bushy eyebrows, but I just want to make it look natural as possible and naturally looking thick. So this is my tip. Just use mascara over your brows, and the color, darker the better. And I tried to find the black color mascara for eyebrows. I just impossible to find any elsewhere. So just simply use mascara instead of searching for brown mascara in black color, because most of mascara has very deep and intense black, and just apply it lightly and thin over your brows to create more natural looking brows. That easy. And somehow you're feeling it tonight, so if you want to add more depth and intensity to your eyebrow, then that's when you can use your eyeshadow powder or eyebrow powder, whichever are fine because they are technically the same powder. I'm just going to use a slant brush. It doesn't have to be a slant brush, it can be an eyebrow pencil, whatever. Then I'm just going to fill in any empty and sparse gaps on my eyebrow. That's it. Just filling in. I'm not going to shape, I'm not going to define, I'm just going to fill it. And I also have a brow pencil, so I'll show you with a brow pencil just in case you may not fully understand. Then you can just really go with a light hand, filling in those gaps between your eyebrows. Filling in meaning it's like just shading your brows, not instead of drawing your brows. Just lightly shade it so you can really get the natural looking brows, because we are not doing skin's done, brows done, and what's left. Lastly, lips. Lips are very important because when the man's lip is very dark, colored, and pigmented, that's natural, looks still fine, but dark, colored, and chapped dead skin over it, it's just awful. So don't forget to moisturize your lips, and always have yourself a lip balm. That easy. I do have this lip oil from Clarins, and if I need more intensive care, then I'm gonna use this kind of moisturizing lip oil over my lips because it can really intensely moisturize it, but the result is more glossy. So it might look like your spit is all over your lips, but if you really need intensive care, then do consider using an oil. It'll really moisturize and get rid of any chapped lips. However, if your lips are severely chapped, then I suggest you to try this way. Use a cotton pad and a moisturizing cream. Just place sufficient amount of moisturizing cream over the cotton pad, lightly spread it, and use a lip oil over it, and place it over your mouth and wait for about 5 to 10 minutes. And after 5 to 10 minutes, you can just fold it half and start to scrub off your lips. It's very effective. It'll get rid of every dead skin on your lips. So thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.